Fight on.
Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and you're back with me in my parents' house in the spare bedroom. Oh yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at in this video Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Part 4, The Memories. Oh yeah, we're gonna be hitting back to the early 90s, 1999 and 2000s. Pretty much taking you back to when I first played the game in the arcade and the crazy memories that ensued. Now, I wish my brother was here because he actually wanted to be in it. But based on timing and his schedule changed the new year, he couldn't be. So he says, you know, make sure we went through back and forth the stories and they all checked out. So let's get right to it. Now, as kind of tradition, I know in the last couple of videos I didn't. I always smoke in my memories a cigar. Now, I'm a big cigar guy as well. And I know a lot of people don't really approve, or then it's not their thing. But again, it's something I enjoy. It's something that I don't do too often. But again, almost like drinking, that there's more to it just than drinking it. There's more of the art to it, and that's where I'm in. But now for that, I don't want to smoke in the spare bedroom because, you know, this is where we have storage. My parents said, look, I don't mind if it's in the basement, but because we have like a spare bed we roll in here, do you mind? I'm like, fair enough. I mean, I can't really say anything because I have so many games. Now, for kind of Christmas-ish, a friend of mine told me about this, and my wife's like, yeah, let's get it together. It's the eVIC-VTC. The eVIC-VTC Mini, and ideally the way it works is it's pretty much a vaporizer. Now, I do not have tobacco in here. I do not have any marijuana or anything like that, dabs or whatever the hell that is. It's only pure. It's called juice, and it's really just flavored, flavor. You know, it's vapor. It's pretty much flavored water vapor. Is it good for you? I don't know. To be honest, I mean, it's something that I enjoy. So, not advertising it. I don't get it for free like I did. I just saw the box. But again, it's odorless. You can't smell it. It just smells like, this is called, if you guys, you know what juice, this is called Thug Juice, which is watermelon and grape. It literally smells like incense, but it's like, smells like gum. It's awesome. So with that being said, let's take you back. I'm going to be doing this vape in the video as a replacement on the cigars, but it still reminds me back, you know, when we go back to the early 2000s. So let's do that. Let's go back to the memories of Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and let's get right to it. Now, in the description below, I have what it is if you guys are interested. Again, I don't get money from it. I don't get any sponsoring or anything, just something that I enjoy. So let's get to it. Now, it literally tastes like watermelon gum. Anyway, so what happens is, it's early 2000. My parents moved from, again, if you're in the greater Toronto area, for you Canadians or Torontonians, and around the area, you'll understand the destinations for Americans that are watching, and from people overseas in South America, whatever else, unless you want to go on Google Maps, it's really irrelevant. So for any Torontoites, we're, you know, east in Durham, and we moved to Markham, where my, you know, parents are now. So it's not too far from the Scarborough Town Centre. So some people in Toronto might be laughing. Scarborough is kind of a suburb of now Greater Toronto. So not even a 20-minute drive, really. So what happened was, my brother's like, we were getting bored because we just moved. We didn't really have any friends. You know, I was kind of already finished school. I was going to go to college. So it was kind of that weird phase. So my younger brother and I hung out a lot. My older brother was doing his own thing, just finished college and doing his own business. Now, we spend a lot of time together and just, you know, playing video games and hanging out. And he goes to me, Steve, why don't we go out and see, you know, what's out in the arcade? Because the arcade then were kind of tapering off. They were kind of dying out. And there were not that many being made. So I remember my younger brother George was like, yo, let's go, you know, let's go and see what's out there. So I heard through the grapevine there was an old arcade near me that closed down. They said, hey, if you guys want another experience in the arcade, go to the Scarborough Town Centre. So when we get there, and Scarborough, if you know the area, is a little rougher. It can be. And, you know, it was in the actual mall. It was in the food court. And then, so it was literally like, if this is the food court, we'll say the square, and it went like this. Here's the dead center of the arcade, and there's a KFC, there's a Taco Bell, I think there's a McDonald's here, and some like Greek restaurant, and then there's like pizza and whatever else, like a coffee thing. So it was right in the middle of the actual food court. So you'd go eat. Parents would go eat. It was smart because they can see their kids go to the arcade. Here's $5 while we eat, and you're kind of being babysat because you can see inside, hot all glass. And so we get there. Now keep in mind, I was 20 in 2000. My younger brother was 14. So I remember I was kind of hip hoppy. Well, still am, but I was kind of acting all whatever. Like I'm walking all like kind of weird and shit. So I'm like, yeah. So we go in there doing our thing, acting all cool. And, I was never threatening. I didn't want to be and never was. But, I had the edge. I was cool. Got out of high school. I'm invincible. And, I'm my brother's guardian. So we're sitting there. In essence, I'm taking care of him. We go inside. And, there was, Marvel vs. Capcom. I think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 just came out, if I'm right. I'm not sure about that. It was 1 or 2, for sure 1. They had, I think, SNK versus Capcom versus SNK 1. If I remember, I know they had virtual tennis, and they had all other games. I don't think they had a Street Fighter 2. I think they have they had a new Tekken. I think it was Tekken 5 or Tekken Tag, something like that. Either way, it was there. And anyways, it was hopping. It was a cool thing. A lot of people our age was there, a little older, a little younger, and it was popping. Everybody was going nuts. So the food was allowed in there as long as. They told you to be careful because, how can you? You're in a food court. So they just made sure you kind of just dried your hands, and they were pretty lenient because the owners are young. Like the guys running out that gave the quarters, they didn't care. So I still remember this. So my brother was playing, I don't know, I think it was Tekken Tag because we had it for the PlayStation 2, and he wanted to kind of see if he can own people, and he was doing that thing, and he was younger, he's button mashing, and then I'm, again, ready to play. So I see Third Strike. I'm like, hey, I heard this just came out, again, through the magazines I've read, and it looks pretty cool. So what happens is, now I have this hat here for a reason. This might be with little props today. So I'm playing the game, right? So I'm playing the game like normal, doing pretty good. Again, I'm not the best player. I'm better now than then, but I'm playing, everything's going well. And it wasn't, again, Third Strike back then wasn't what it is now at all. No one really cared that much. It was okay, it was alright, but it wasn't that big. It was always empty. No one really cared. So I was playing, doing my thing. I think I got to the fourth, character or fourth, opponent, and these two guys come in. So the first guy was a black dude, my height, not too tall, nice guy. He's like, hey, what's up? And he just puts in the quarter. He had next, and he's playing. So I'm Ryu. Ryu's my guy. He was, I think, either Ken or Akuma, one or the other. Blah, blah, blah. It was 1 round each. I ended up beating him. So I ended up beating him pretty good. It was with the Shinchoryuken, I remember, because George now just came. My younger brother was kind of watching beside me. And at the time, he was shorter than me. Now he's a little taller than I am. So we're playing, doing our thing. I beat him. So he goes, GG, good game. So he pounds me and all this nonsense. So I'm like, yeah, man, good game, yeah. So, he does this thing, and then he comes back, and his other boy's standing there. Now, this guy... I kid you not. Here's what the dude looked like. His friend was a white guy, maybe 5'11", skinny, and he had a little ratty mustache. So just picture this, but less. And you know how you wear a hat normal, it's on your head. Now he wore a New York Yankees cap. Now this is the closest I've found. It's a bootleg one from Mama that just says New York, whatever. So and this is pure coincidence. I just grabbed any hat. So he had a New York Yankees cap. The navy blue, and he didn't wear it like a normal human being. He wore it just like this. He just sat on his head. And I still remember, because George and I would speak Greek, his code, and he's like, in Greek, he goes, why is he wearing this hat like that? And he's kind of giggling. And I wasn't really paying attention because I was going against the computer, and he's just sitting there, and he's just like this, he's just looking at me like an idiot. But now this is kind of loose. Remember, a new Yankees cap or a new baseball cap is firm. And that's before they started leaving the stickers and all that stupid nonsense on. So it was just on top like this. And he had a big weird head. And he's taller, so he's like this. He's if he's tippy-toeing, he's around here. And he's looking down at me like this. And I'm kind of looking up. And I'm looking at this guy what the hell does he want? Now, not only does the hat look stupid, he had Rockaware, gear, which is hip-hop wear that Jay-Z wore. So I guess he was on the Jay-Z tip, had the hat on, the Yankee cap, Rockaware and the whole deal, which is fine, man. I'm a hip-hop kid, I get it, I understand. But this guy has a thick silver chain, and like thick, like I have one too, but thick, silver chain, and just sitting there, and he just like mean mugging me. And he's just looking at me just like this, and just kind of like bobbing. Like, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with him? Oh, well, I thought he just wanted to see how I beat his friend. You know, his friend's black, maybe, he wanted to be cool, I don't know. Well, that's something, when white dudes start to act like, now, you're going to probably call BS on me, but start to act a little too cool, and try to impress their black friends, those are the guys you're worried about. Forget the black guys, those guys, because they want to impress them. Anyways, that's my opinion. So, this idiot's ass on like this. And he's watching me, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. His buddy comes back, black dude, and he goes again. And now he picks, I think Ken was the second time and Kuma was the first. I'm still Ryu because you can't change your character. And I picked, the Shoryuken, which is the art. Now, we're playing again, everything's going well. And so I beat his friend again. And I remember beating him badly because I kind of knew I was just parrying all of his techniques. So the black dude, the guy, so we're playing, and the guy actually goes, he goes, give me a mercy. Now, if you guys are in fighting games, he just says mercy, mercy. So if I beat him really, really hard the first time, then I would give him the second round so we can kind of play more and to be kind of more competitive. Because if he was like a noob or he wasn't that good, I'll just smoke him. He was boring. So he goes, mercy, mercy. Now, I'm usually attacked because I just know I've been hustled before saying mercy, mercy, and then they come and kick my ass and then they get to continue. So he's like, mercy. So I'm like, all right, so we're playing a little and I'm still getting a few hits in. In the end, I'm like, okay, I kind of know, I hope he's not hustling me. He's like, mercy, I'm like, all right, fine. And so it's the third round, I beat him. Not kill, but I beat him. I beat him like normally. So everything is all right. He goes, yo, man, good game, you're all right, you're all right. I'm like, all right, cool, man. So he leaves. He goes on to play whatever. Now, his idiot white friend, Trevor, whatever the hell his name is just sitting there. I don't know where I came up with that name. He's just sitting there just like this. And he's looking at me. I'm like, looking at me. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? So I'm just like, so I beat the other character. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's just like looking right at me. He goes, hey man, did you see my cigarettes? And I'm like, no. Now back then, before I started wrestling, I was a lot in better shape and I was against drinking, smoking, anything. Like I was clean edge way before, that was the cool thing to do. He asked me that and I kind of thought he was kidding. I'm like, what? No, like I don't smoke. So like I didn't at all. So I'm like, no man, no, I didn't take your cigarettes. He's like, okay. And he's just sitting there like that, like just you're me, your eyes are like I'm the dude and your eyes are me. And he's just sitting there like this, like, okay. Alright. And he's still, like, he's moving back, but his eyes aren't on me. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? And I'm looking at my George, he's in Greek, and goes to me, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Does he want to start trouble? And I'm like, uh-oh, let's not panic. So, so I keep playing, and I'm kind of laughing. I'm like, this guy is a real idiot. So, I beat his friend, he didn't come back. And this guy's not, it's not like he was kind of studying me to play. Like, I understand some people do that. This guy was just sitting there. I'm like, what does he want? So I'm sitting there and whatever. I'm like, all right. And then, he comes, so what happens? 10 minutes later, I think I lost. And then I lost. And, I didn't get to Gil. I didn't beat him. I was going around the arcade. We're playing. So we're in and around 1.5 hours, at the arcade. I was on this for maybe 20 minutes, blah, 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 whatever, half hour. So we're going around the arcade playing whatever we're playing. I'm back. I come back to the same game because I still have 50 cents left. And I'm like, I don't know, should I play this? There was another game I wanted to play. It was like more of a Japanese one. I can't remember what it was. But I'm like, you know what, I don't know what I want to play. So I'm like, all right, let me just play this because I get more replay value. So I'm like, all right, I kind of know what I'm doing. So I jump back in and I'm playing my thing. I'm in the second guy. Black dude's not here. Here comes this white guy again. I'm like, what the hell does this guy want again? I'm thinking, okay, he's ready to fight me. He knows I'm on my last quarter, maybe, I don't know. So, I'm sitting there doing my thing. This idiot comes on with a stupid hat that looks just as stupid as this and worse. And I'm just playing, and then I beat the guy, and I'm just sitting there like this. And he comes back, and he's sitting there like this, like, again, let's do that thing. He's just like, are you sure you didn't take my cigarettes? I swear to God. I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I didn't take your cigarettes. I don't smoke. Where am I going to put them? Look. And I started emptying my pockets, which is just my car keys and my license. And, like, I think I had another $10. I'm like, I don't have anything. And I don't know what this guy's problem was. He was just, I don't know why. He just kept mean-mugging me, just like this. With this stupid hat. And he's just like, I'm like, okay, what do you want? So I'm playing. And he's like, okay. And then, so I'm here. And I'm him. So he does this. Okay. And he's looking at me, he's like this. And just walks backward like this. Now, I don't know if the camera saw it, so he bangs the thing, looking, and he's just walking by like this, like, you know, he's the Highlander. I'm like, what? And I'm laughing because I have a weird sense of humor. What's wrong with this guy? So I'm laughing at him, and he's just like always, and he's like walking out of the door backwards, and just keeps, and I'm like, what, does this guy want to start a fight? Like, I don't know how this, because I beat his friend? Get the hell out of here. So George is like, you know what, he goes, in Greek, he goes, you know, let's go, I don't want any trouble. Maybe they're waiting for us outside. Now, I have my black belt, I'll kill this guy. Like, I'm waiting, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna kill this guy. Like, I'm tired of this stupid hat. So, and I'm thinking, George, my younger brother's like, I don't want to get in a fight, because then there might be 2 more people I get. And plus, I didn't want to, you know, encourage my brother. So I'm like, I don't want to go to war with this idiot, but I'm laughing because, and I still think back how stupid, and he leaves. So we ended up leaving the arcade. Now, we didn't go back that often because my brother was always scared. He goes, there's always tension. And we went back and forth. And, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 then became the big thing. They got rid of this. And they added 2 Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinets, which was huge. But that was the arcade story of that. So, I mean, even back then it was very competitive. Now, moving forward, I went to console. Like I said in the last video, I went to Dreamcast. My buddy had it. We played it competitively, always brought it over with all of our inner circle of friends. And then moving forward to the newer consoles, and of course, this is way before I thought I was going to be arcade. Like, this is, you know, 12 years later that I ever knew that I was going to actually own the arcade. So this is something that really is near and dear to my heart. I'm a fighting game guy. Top Tier Arcade is for that reason. If you look up top tier and what fighting is, this is it. Like, it's the, you know, it's, you know, who's the best character, who's the best player of what game. I'm not saying I'm the best, but that's where I got the name really from. And maybe I'll go in that in another video and some of the fun names I had before Top Tier started. But that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that's the memories. Of course, Evo, you saw in the last video. If you didn't see my last video, check out Evo Moment 37, which was kind of, you know, that hype times 10. There's a lot of guys online. I follow Maximilian. You know, I'm a really big fan of Max. Love his stuff. I'd love to meet him or even play him one day. And, you know, that's, you know, I always wish, you know, that hype can kind of translate because it's always very fun with this game. But yeah, again, you know, memories with this is, you know, playing in the arcade, mainly playing with my, you know, my inner circle of friends and cousins and relatives. And also, of course, playing, you know, online, because online is a huge community. And again, I did play a 1-to-1 tournament. It was very local. There was only 5 guys. I knew 2 of them. My cousins, and then, you know, they're friends, so, and my cousin beat me, so it wasn't even fun or anything, and, but I've never really gone out to really do tournaments. Not that I'm afraid. I mean, I know I won't probably do too well, but maybe just to show my face, I might, to encourage, and, you know, to let them see, excuse me, top tier. But, guys, I don't want to keep rambling. I hope you enjoyed that memory. It's something that I always laugh about for sure. Definitely, it's, my brother and I were talking, he was laughing, and, you know, it was just, it's fun to reflect back on, you know what though, you know, despite, you know, there's tension, there's idiots with hats and, you know, banging on the joysticks for no reason, I miss it. I really, honest to God, miss it. Are there a few arcades? Not really. I mean, if you're fighting, you know, like a lot of, like I know that Galvin Ghost in Chicago is big. I would love to visit there one day. I know there, I mean, the home arcades are usually even looking even better than the kind of the like barcades or whatever because they're so kind of focused. But that's what I'm actually trying to do, you know. It's coming. I mean, I just got the Neo Geo like you saw. That's going to be fun and the memories on that and everything else. But more importantly, that's really what I want to try to build is, do you remember back in the day when it used to be smoke filled, the arcade? Do you remember when it was, you know, people getting out and actually meeting each other? Even if you were to talk trash and, you know, look at the, you know, talk to these idiots, at least you're interacting with people. Now, again, I've said it before, and I know you guys, you know, that in my generation are understanding that, you know, it was fun to just go to a brick and mortar. If you're in business, that just was like a physical place, an arcade, and actually go in and experience and see, you know, meet new people, get new techniques, you know, talk trash a little, get to interact and, you know, talk to people and be actually more social. These days, I don't see it. Everything's online, but that's really what I'm trying to do. I'm very proud of this again. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to keep saying it. It's going to be fixed to like my standards, which is going to be a lot better in the near future because I think it really deserves it. So guys, I don't want to keep rambling. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'd appreciate it. If you're a fighting game fan, more is to come. I know this is a little, you know, a little stale content, but unless you really enjoy the memories, I know a lot of people do, and I get a lot of PMs saying, Steve, man, keep them up, despite when it's so fun. And they share with me their stories as well. You know, comment below for whatever stories you have. I'd love to hear them. Let me know what you guys think. And that's pretty much it. So next video, we're going to be checking out part 5 and the last part of this, which is going to be the gameplay. So I'm going to set you guys up, shoulder cannon view, do it, and pretty much, you know, an analog wave show me play the game. You know, hopefully I do well and, you know, have like a competitive level and see how well I can do. So with that being said, all the best. Thanks again for checking out Top Tier. Again, if you ever need anything from me, hit me up. I'm more than happy to help. And with that being said, thanks for the memories. All the best and take care. Peace.